Right, let's just try again. Um, what do we want to go on? Oh, we could do the. I forgot that this mod has a couple extra maps, so we're gonna do that. We are still playing on 1.6.2. The game crashed, and so this is just sort of Rebels essentially. Because the game crashed, didn't actually count as a loss.
Barracks complete. All units.
And so we're still on the same, frankly, ridiculous difficulty. And is that always how it was? It always feels strange looking at the base from that angle. Straight away, give me a rally point there. I think we just have to wait a bit. I could just get a couple of these guys. I'll queue that one up to build, and that might as well. This one you can build at the same time. These ones I don't believe you can. This one I can individually change the rally point, and I can put it over there. Thankfully.
All units. Supply pad.
I will admit I don't really know this map. It has been a very long time since I played the campaign. Mostly because most mods don't work with the campaign. I will just give it a go. Yeah, it's going to get stuck on 0, which fair enough. Get a free rocket warthog, which does actually spawn in. Incredibly common for those to just not work. I'm going to take the garrison. I don't really like having gremlins. They're a bit... I don't want to say a bit shit. They're alright. Just a bit shit, though. This really is a 1v1 map, isn't it? Marine Scouts. I don't know if there's going to be anything there. If we actually let these guys out. They're going to auto run? No. Now they are. Okay.
Local units.
Yeah, so once again, this difficulty is ridiculously unfair. This will be incredibly easy to take out. This will be borderline impossible. However, I'm still gonna fucking try. I'm kind of looking at everything and wondering what I do. Oh, shit. Okay, he's already... already coming for us, which is never a good sign. I mean, in all fairness, like Covenant, what do you expect?
Vehicle depot complete. Local units.
Vehicle depot. A free Warthog as well. I just didn't even look at that. How the fuck has he got shielded ghosts already? They start shielded, do they? I'm gonna put that guy in there, obviously. Give me a free... Oh, it's a Rhino, isn't it? There. Rhino Elephant. We could get some of these. I don't think it's worth it. In terms of, I don't think it will do anything for us. Do I want to chase him? Go on. We'll have a go. No, it is too fast. Hesitated too much, more like. It would be good to sort of punish him and to try and take out that leader, but just slightly way too much hesitation. Are you actually going to be able to get these resources? Yeah? Maybe?
Enemy engagement.
No, I don't think they are. This should be fine to kill him. We are definitely heavy scorpions right now.
Canister shell research.
We should be able to take out this guy, right? Oh, look at that shield, man. Admittedly, I mean, I could have... Feels so strange to say. I could have knocked it down to only legendary, and we will be in a much better place. So that's the profit down, which is probably like one of the bigger things I was worried about, to be honest.
All units. All units.
Waiting for orders. Moving out. On the ground. Moving.
See, this is what I mean. This is why I like the sort of more campaign-focused missions. I think, at least, I think there's this much cover in the campaign versions as well.
On the way.
There's just so much more to the maps themselves.
All units.
Oh, has he taken that base?
All units.
Yeah, so give me more of just everything, please.
All units.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's got the second profit. You can get
All units.
2 of them at the same time. Are we going to be alright? As long as he's focusing on our ODST squads. Should be alright.
All units.
Maybe. I'm not sure, actually.
Scorpion rolling out.
We could get some of these going. We might just be able to eagle. Yeah, okay, good. He is seemingly. What do you do? I think you're just Scorpion, but better. I'm not sure if, like the Mjolnir Scorpion, I'm not sure if it's better than the Heavy Scorpion for our particular anti-infantry issues, but... Sorry, no, I want these.
All units.
Just for the extra range that they've got. I mean, that feels kind of fair. But that doesn't feel horribly broken. Has this guy gone stuck? Oops. That's not what I'm. That's not what I meant to do. Please. Oh no no no! Oh, for fuck's sake!
Moving up.
Oh, thank you, game.
Enemy engagement.
Marines,
Local units.
engaging.
I think because I'm sure I ordered one of those, it might have just gone stuck. Is a very common issue with those in particular.
All units.
On it. All right.
Or units, please get rid of this hall. I don't want him training hunters, which is exactly. Speak of the fucking devil.
Dropping in. I'll handle it.
All units.
Get rid of that right away. We'll deal with the hunters later. I want ODST squad in there.
Reactor.
You guys, oh, okay. Don't have to worry about that, but
Enemy engagement.
can't get up here, right? And you can go all the way around, because here's where the skull is, isn't it? All the way up here. What are we getting down there? That's not really going to be much of an issue. Considering not doing that, but doing that.
Air pad.
As well as that, get a free Hawk and a free Sentinel.
All units.
I got it.
Yeah, we're not going to be very good against
All units.
the infantry in general, but it looks like he's mainly training honor guards. If I had to guess, he's probably gone shield generator, temple, and then a load of supply pads, and he's just relying on the honor guards. Pretty common thing for the AI to do, and so I'm wondering if maybe he's just done that and sort of gotten himself
Air pad. Complete.
stuck to the point where we might just be able to.
All units.
Jesus Christ,
Wing med. Research.
that's still a lot.
On the ground. Waypoint received. Locked in.
You, I want to come over here. Because if he's just training the Prophet as well as honor guards, we should be alright.
Local units.
I'm
ODST on site.
just going to keep pushing these guys up.
On the way. I see them. Yes, sir.
I don't want you going that far though.
Here we go.
I'm going to bring... Oh, we do have garrison things here.
Yes, sir.
These guys, I want another one, which I don't think we have. And we have somehow managed to go over the population limit.
Enemy engagement.
Also, fairly incredibly common for this mod.
All units.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Give me an order.
Yeah, the issue is with like things spawning in. It was probably the Hawk and the offensive protector. I'm gonna put you on the heavy Scorpion. Just because, once again, I don't want it to just suicide in. There's no point.
We're going.
Um,
Yes.
you, I want to stay here. I'm gonna grab a super base.
Yes. Uh-huh. Here I
These
go.
guys can come and grab this.
On the ground.
You in that one, and you in that one.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to say it
Units.
definitely will, but it should somewhat solidify this position when we get some turrets and everything in.
Turret upgrade. Enemy engagement.
I don't think we can do anything else there, at the moment at least. But yeah, you see what I mean? He seems to have sort of stopped training hunters and stuff like that. He seems to be almost exclusively building honor guards, which makes me think that he's got himself stuck.
The enemy is training elite honor guards.
Yep, I can tell.
All units.
I'm going.
Turret
essentially the AI is, I don't want to say hard coded, but
all units.
essentially hard coded to just never replace units. And yeah, as you can see, exactly what I said. Shield generator, temple, and a load of shield resource generation. One extra shield generator. It doesn't really matter.
Hornet, good to go.
I'm gonna get some medical things. We should also be doing something like that. Right, that might be an issue. Or maybe not. It won't actually matter.
Enemy engagement.
Just-
Inbound.
Fucking kill one of our scorpions. Gonna be honest, global rally point, come up here. I'm gonna get the second, or
Supply
not.
pad complete.
Get another supply pad going. These are essentially just engineers, but worse, as far as I'm aware. However they can. You know, the Cyclops, it's only ever going to heal vehicles and stuff like that.
Supply pad complete.
Whereas these guys can heal everything. I think maybe we just go for a couple Grizzlies.
All units.
Because as sure of my sort of little army that we've got going here, I'm pretty sure that this is,
Supply pad complete.
I would like to come and sit sort of here, but the aggro range, we're going to get sucked in by those turrets.
All units.
I want to,
Supply pad upgraded.
like, I don't think that we're ever going to have issues against stuff like that. And as I say, the AI essentially never replaces buildings. It's sort of gotten itself, like, what it's doing here is it's gone its opening hand. Its opening hand has failed because it has, you know, lost this base, and so its original plan has just, like, the original plan hasn't worked, and instead of doing something different, it's just gotten stuck on doing the exact same thing. I will search. Wasn't there a half dead squad of something? No?
Rhino, on the ground.
Maybe not. I guess we're just gonna go for field armory then. As I say, I firmly believe that we're not gonna be pushed back. However, I don't think that means we can push forward. If I'm being honest,
Driving. Moving up. Going. Moving up.
you're just taking up population. I hardly ever use rhinos anyway.
Field armory.
Elephants even.
Locking down. Okay. All set.
It's field armory complete. Give me reinforcements. We do get a free rhino
Ceramic armor.
out of doing that.
Digging in.
So you should be upgraded.
Enemy engagement.
I don't think we really. Puma is, yeah, meh. So I think we can now kind of
Reinforcement.
cheese it.
All units. Deflection plating. Research.
Does seem to be kind of doing an AI moment.
Inbound.
I'm going to bring these back and move the Rhino forward. You're going to come and lock down here.
Cloak. Researched.
I'm going to do something like that just because I kind of feel bad. If I build more Rhinos, it's like, oh, congratulations, you sat out of the enemy's range and slowly picked them off. Good job, you're an expert at this game. So I'm going to do something like that. And just... I don't want you to sit in the...
All units.
I don't think I care about that too much. That sucks that we're going to lose this one, but...
RPG. Research.
like, go ahead.
All units.
Oh. Bit of a graphical glitch there, but... as I say, this mod is, all the units, is probably the best mod. If you ignore its flaws.
Units.
When I say its flaws, I mean the constant and routine crashes that are caused by this mod, that are kind of just unavoidable. It's one of those things where I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, why isn't this mod perfectly balanced and work perfectly and never have any issues? Of course it's gonna have issues, but
All units.
it can be kind of annoying when you're say an hour in, and admittedly there was absolutely no way that we were ever going to win that last one.
All units.
I have had similar things happen where I was, instead of about to lose, about to win, and still lost because of a crash. It just, in general, obviously never feels good. I'm going to unlock these guys and lock you here instead. Realistically, taking this out, if anything, is just going to give him the ability to rebuild something. Not another fucking warehouse. There you go, a hall.
All units.
Fucking fixing the AI's shortcomings for it. I say it started off with that opening strat. Went down here. It would have been fine if it held this base. It would have been a genuine issue if it held that base, or if it swapped out that shield generator for literally anything other than a fucking shield generator. Now the issue with all the units
You are victorious.
is not relevant here. Oh yeah, sorry, it's the UNSC ones only. So if I come in here, it's mainly this, to be honest. The way that stuff like this is trying to fucking select things in an end screen. The way that stuff like this is, especially the fences, the way that it's coded, these are kind of like buildings almost. Because like you saw in the last one where we lost, it was like we lost the Pelican, we lost this landing pad, right? We lost this special barracks. We lost quite a few of these like special bits. So they're destructible, and the issue is the AI doesn't quite go for them properly. And so also these fences are not indestructible. Sorry, they're not destructible, so they are indestructible, they're invincible. And so it can't get rid of everything you own, because these count as something that we own. And so if you lose the base, these things don't disappear properly. And so you're just kind of stuck for like a minute, just waiting for these to disappear. It's normally against the enemy AI. It just seems to not register that they've lost the base and that these things are not actual units. But it doesn't against the Covenant. Anyway, as I say, I have things to do. I best finish up in the garden before it fucking chucks it down again like yesterday. But hey, at least I won on 162 difficulty. You can see here, difficulty automatic. If I change it to legendary, the skull symbol does not change. That is because I am on or above legendary difficulty. Once again, this is just a flat out numerical disadvantage. Your units deal less damage, the enemy units deal more damage. There is, once again, it is entirely Civ moment. The AI, as you saw, is kind of scuffed sometimes and kind of just locks itself into those fucking retarded loops where it's like, oh, I'm going to start off by, taking out a close by base by spamming honor guards, and when it loses that base, it doesn't change that strategy. It just fucking sticks with it. It would be alright if he was playing as the brute. However, he isn't. Or, sorry, wasn't. So it just gets stuck in that fucking retarded loop. And that's on higher than the hardest difficulty. It's the same with Civ, where the deity does not mean that the enemy AI is good in any sense of the word. It is simply just that it gets a numerical advantage, and you are just always going to be worse no matter what you do. It is the easiest and worst form of difficulty. I wish the AI was better and didn't get fucking stuck like that and literally just cheat. However, I do not know. I don't know much about this game. I don't know if there are. There probably is. There's probably some sort of fix out there for the AI. However, I'm doing this all the old-fashioned way. I'm installing mods with Notepad, redirect files. There is a mod manager for this game. I assume that it might allow you to like dual boot mods. However, I would assume that most of those would result in extreme instability. All the units, as we saw with the last one, likes to randomly crash. I would not want to see it dual booted with anything else. As much as I would love, like, I don't know if people watching this actually understand, not understand, sort of keep up with mods and stuff. All the units it's not really a mod, it's more of a mod pack. It's got all the credits on the download pages, and I think it's also got text file in the mod file itself. Sorry, in the mod folder. But a lot of all the units, a lot of this mod was made by other people and sort of combined. So this is kind of like a mod pack, if that makes any sense. It's kind of just put everything together. And I would like to see maybe the Judgment Edition put together with this. As I say, this is a a highly pro-turtle mod, just because it allows you to, like the free units that you get, they allow you to just sort of sit by your base. The sort of extra, like the fences and stuff like that can just, oh yeah, we just got 2 vultures just sit next to your base. Stuff like that. I would like to see that against the Judgment Edition survival. However, the Judgment Edition is a lot more stable. However, I don't think my computer would like all the unit survival mode too much. I think that might be a bit too much for it. I'm not, like, when this game crashes, I'm not sure why. Because, like, the last time that it crashed, it just seemed to, you know what I mean? Normally when something crashes, it's like, oh, I did something and it crashed. Whereas that last crash just randomly happened. And so it's not like I can be like, oh, you know, I've played Dark Souls mods, right? A lot of Dark Souls 3 mods tend to be not optimized amazingly, shall we say. Especially when they're including like extra graphical things. And as I've talked about a lot, the reason why I'm playing Halo 1 is my GPU is very literally too shit to play Halo Wars 2. But with those mods, with Dark Souls mods, you sort of go like, oh, yeah, I loaded into a new area. It crashed probably because it was overloading my GPU. Dark Souls 3, even on lowest settings, even on vanilla, maxes out my GPU 100% without fail, no matter what. So trying to load in extra stuff, it's always going to push it over the edge. It does always stutter on loading new areas. If you throw in mods, those stutters become crashes. With that last crash, though, on that last recording, I don't know what caused it. You know, is that just the game not handling what it was being tasked with properly? Is that maybe my GPU trying to render too much at one time? I'm not sure. I don't think that my GPU has any issues with this game. It is quite old, though recording it would obviously add extra strain. Not sure. I doubt it would be my CPU, unless it's one of those games where it's like single core bound. I do have like my CPU, my RAM, my motherboard, my storage are all, I don't want to say top tier. I would say top tier. Like 2 years ago. You know, got R9 5900X, I think. I think that's right. I don't know exactly. You know, high speed, low latency, RAM. Obviously, M.2. We are living in, you know, current day. I'm not going to use a hard drive. And then I've just gone 960. I've said it a few times. My old computer used to have 2. You know, I got it back in the day where SLI was a thing, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool, that sounds good. I'll have 2 of the worst GPU from that generation in SLI instead of one good one, which would have been better. So I'm not really sure why. I was younger at that time and did not know any better. Blame the pre-built manufacturers, which are, now I look back, it had a 120mm AIO liquid cooler for the CPU. I'm not sure why, other than to hit checkpoints on a marketing thing. I don't know why anyone would even manufacture a 120mm AIO. I currently have I think it's 240. It might be 280. I forget which one, but yeah, it's now actually a sort of an improvement over the stock cooler that would come with the CPU. But I used to have two 960s running in SLI, and the motherboard or the CPU or something like that on my old computer broke. We couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, and I was like, I could send it off to like a proper repair place and be like, yep, repair this. And I was then like, well, do I really want to? It's old and shit. Then so I just decided, fuck it, we'll just get a new one. However, it was, say, 2 years ago. The GPU market 2 years ago was, I could have sold my 960 and made a profit, even though it was several years, like many years of heavy use, already a terrible GPU, and overpaid because OEM moment. I could have still made a profit by selling it. And so it's like, I'm not going to buy a GPU in this market. Fuck no. And so I was like, well, I'll just use this one until it breaks. And it definitely is. I can tell it's starting to, graphical glitches and everything. It's getting there. However, I'm just not sure what I'm actually going to replace it with. I was looking at a 4060. I still don't understand why people hate it, to be honest. It's, like that sort of, I don't know how you explain it, but there's just, tech people really like to just over-explain things. Not really over-explain things, but overcomplicate things. It's like, Gamers Nexus, I think is the channel. There's like a lot of reviews of that sort of stuff. Like, seem trustworthy and knowledgeable. And then it's like, you watch them and it's just, I don't want to say babble, but it's just a lot of numbers, and I'm like, I don't want numbers. I mean, I want video to start off with of like, hey, this is a good, like a summary. Give me a summary first, so I can sort of, what's the word? Give me a summary of the numbers. Give me like hey, this is a pretty good budget range card. This is, good for this. It's comparable to these other things, so that I have a reason to understand the rest of the review. Otherwise, it's just like, it just eyes glaze over type shit. Another thing I was talking about, I can't remember when, it might have been in the Empire at War videos, maybe, But I was looking at getting a couple swords, and just like a GPU, I spent a lot of time looking at numbers and specifications and reviews and all of that stuff. And I live in England, so it's kind of hard. Please, quiet. Fuck's sake. Yeah, there's not many people, not really many places that sell stuff like that, and quite a lot of them are rather barren. And so I, good site, look online, and it's like, oh hey, reputable place, and I go through their catalog, I find things that look promising, and then a fucking pigeon, I swear to God. I would genuinely, I think I talked about the deer in the garden. I sort of got my old airsoft rifle. I don't want to say out of storage, but like back up to working standards, like lubricated and all that sort of stuff, just to scare them off. However, it is illegal to shoot pigeons without a pest control license. If a rat comes into my house, I can go down to the shop in the village. I can buy a rat trap for a couple quid. I can buy a jar of peanut butter. I can set a rat trap. And that's fine. That's perfectly all right. However, if the rat has wings, then I need a pest control license to shoot it. Admittedly, I wouldn't want to shoot a pigeon with an airsoft rifle. In the first place, I would want to get are they just called airgun rifles? I forget what they're called. But the ones that are the airsoft rifles are toys. People like to pretend that we're doing military training, and it's like, no, you're running around having fun with your friends in a forest with toy guns. You are doing essentially what we did as children, as fully grown adults, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's not it's not anything real. It's a toy. Whereas, like, I think they might just be called pellet guns. They're like, proper high power and shoot like metal things, or just a 22. I wouldn't want to shoot a pigeon with a toy. I despise them, and they keep fucking waking me up in the middle of the night. But I would want to do something humane. But yeah, anyway, I was going through this site, and a lot of the stuff, it's like, there's this site has a lot of low-end options, which is perfectly fine. However, it's not really something that I want. I don't want the sort of budget stuff. I want something that will be usable, right? I want something more than just a decoration. And so that means looking through all of the specifications. It means getting reacquainted with like steel metallurgy and all that sort of stuff. And I spend probably about 2 weeks just watching reviews, looking up everything, and I finally get ready to place an order. And as I do so, it says, sorry, these items are out of stock. The stock indicator on the website is written in the same size font and the same color font and the same what's the word, like, I guess just font in general. I guess I mean the same color and size text, and also the same font rather than color font. That makes more sense. Yeah, so it's the same color text, the same size text, and the same font. It is written at the end of a rather large description and has absolutely nothing to draw your attention to it. It just has a single little line at the end of a paragraph of many, many lines. There is no like sticker or banner on the main catalog to show, oh, this one's out of stock, but you know, here's the listing for it just in case you're still interested. There isn't even anything on the add to cart button. I can add things that are out of stock to my cart. If you ask me, that is bad web design. But anyway, I'm like, well, what am I going to do? There's like 2 other stores in England, and neither of them have anything that I want. Like, not even close. There are very literally, like, I want a rapier and a katana. Those 2 designs, like those archetypes, whatever you want to call it, styles, whatever, that they don't exist anywhere else. The only other places that sell stuff like that are foreign, which the issue with, like, I could import something from Germany. The issue is a store from Germany has paid, like, one of the things I'm looking at is by LK Chen, the Saxony rapier. It is made in China. It is then, you know, exported, right? So if it's exported to Germany, the store pays import tax, they pay fees to get it to Germany, which are included in the price, right? And so those German sellers, their prices are going to be comparable to ours. You know, there might be some discrepancy, you know, currency exchange rates and all that shit. The thing is, if I import one from Germany, that means paying an extra 20% tax for import fees. It also means paying the actual, like, import costs, you know, the delivery and everything like that, which has to be a very specific delivery and all this stuff, which, you know, costs extra and is extra hassle and stuff like that. And so it's like you're paying tax not just to England, but also to Germany. And so you're being charged twice on the tax, and you're technically being charged 3 times because, you know, the government needs to take 50% of everything I make, because well, I mean, we've got to fund the NHS somehow, and it does employ like half of this fucking country. And so it's like, I could import one, but it would cost so much extra. And then you get into it, and it's like, you have to have a very specific type of delivery. That might not happen if it's being imported. If it isn't, then there are reports, I can't speak for this myself, but there are reports of people that have imported something and the delivery has been not up to the, when I say delivery, I mean the delivery service used. You have to have a special, I forget what it's called, but it's like, it has to be this special service, it has to be age verified, and sign for and all this extra stuff. And because it's an import, you know, if it's coming from Germany, it's just going to be random DHL delivery, right? And so they're maybe not going to understand that it's a law, that it's something that needs to happen. Maybe it will just get lost in translation and the logistics of everything. And there have been reports of that happening. And Customs, Border Force, instead of saying, oh, that's just an obvious innocent mistake, have sort of taken that as a God, what's the word? Intention of illegal delivery or something like that, and have confiscated it. Have just said, nope, this is not the right delivery. You can't send this out. Rather than just say, oh, the delivery service that this was coming in is not correct. You know, you owe us 10 quid for the right delivery. Instead of doing that, they're just like, nope, not allowed. And then you get into the fun stuff of a katana, a curved sword, which there are many issues with, considering our politicians are what they are, and what they are is fucking retarded and unfit to rule. Once again, I live in England. We currently are not living in a democracy. The person leading this country is an unelected person who no one voted for. No one wants this guy in power, no one likes him, and no one voted for him. We have the exact same choice as a literal dictatorship. This guy he just got into power, and it's like there is nothing that the average person can do about it. It is just through a stupid loophole in the law that should have resulted in a general election being forced. It didn't, and instead we've just got this unelected official that's running the country that no one wants to. You know what I mean? But compared to the average politician, he seems actually not terrible. Considering, once again, I live in England and I have met preschoolers that would make better politicians. And so someone got attacked with a wall decoration. One of those painted aluminium sticks that you get from Chinese drop sellers. And so they decided, yep, anything that resembles that, curved swords over 50 centimeters, all banned. And so instead of using the highly visible, incredibly hard to conceal, and blunt, as well as soft and bendable aluminium swords, they now just use kitchen knives, which are way more effective. They are way more dangerous. There is an exemption to that law if it is made with traditional techniques, which is political speak for not stamped aluminium or stamped 304 stainless. The thing is, there are many reports of people having stuff like that confiscated, even when it is made with traditional techniques that is perfectly fine to own. Border control still takes issue with it. I was looking at a cheaper one, which would have been about 100 quid, plus postage and stuff like that. And it's like, if that got confiscated, I wouldn't really mind, but the website looks kind of dodgy. It's like DFS tier of... God, I'm terrible with words today. It's not prolonged, it's perpetual sales. Every single archive of this website, it has always got a 20 to 30% sale going on, which means you're not selling something worth 150 quid for 100 quid. You're just selling something worth 100 quid. I am fairly sure that that is flat out illegal in England. However, they are an American company, and so they get around that law. However, it does seem kind of dodgy as well. They make these things, however, they only list it as being high carbon and nothing else. They don't list the actual type of steel, which means it is probably 1040, which, you know, it's better than 304 stainless, kind of, in some ways. You know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, that site's kind of dodgy, so I'm just not gonna bother. And so it's like the next thing up, there's like the pretty ones that are like 100 quid, or there are the ones that you would like really want to own, they're actually functional and stuff like that, that I would want, that are about 300 quid, which, losing 100 quid in customs is definitely a ball ache, and it's customs, no one wants to deal with them. However, it's a lot better than losing 300 quid. And so I sent the website in England, I sent them an email and said, like, you know, I didn't notice that you guys were out of stock until I went to order. Is there any ETA on a restock? And I said, you know, I was going to say, like, are we talking, like, you know, just roughly, is it a matter of weeks? Is it a matter of months? I didn't say that part. I just said, you know, is there any rough estimate on how long it will take? And the LK Chen one, September. Half a year. And I was like, oh, wow, that's quite a long time. And then the other one, the Dragon King one, they go, oh, yeah, probably won't have that in stock until next year. Which, ooh, ouch. That's 9 months away, at least. They didn't say they would have it in by New Year's, they would just say, sometime next year. And so it's like, do I want to wait that long? I'm not sure. And then the other thing is, obviously, I've still got a massive collection of pillows that I need to print, which is growing ever larger by the day, thanks to the advancements in AI image generation. I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm not sure if I want to find some place in England. That's the same thing, just worried about border control, essentially. And so it's like, do I want to do that? You know what I want to do? I want to go and we've got a load of like sticks and stuff. I had a tree fall over and chopped it up. I saved the load for the crabs. However, it is just scattered on the lawn, which kind of need to. I'm not really worried about the lawn. Once again, I am firmly in the camp of lawns are just a remnant of, like, I don't even want to say boomer autism, because it's like older than boomers. It's like pre-boomer autism. It's firmly in that camp. It's just absolutely retarded to just keep a lawn. You know, I mean, I'm not saying don't have grass, but you know, you're sat there every single Sunday mowing a lawn, and it's like you don't even know why you do it. You just do it because that's what you've been socially conditioned to do, essentially. I say sometime, you know, within a year or two, I want an Akita, and obviously with a dog you want a lawn. But it's like, I'm not gonna keep mowing the lawn for a dog. It's like, these things are bred to fucking fight bears. You know, fight bears with a team of armed warriors, but, you know, fight bears nonetheless. And, yeah, alright, Japanese sun bear, you know, sun bears in general are small in the realm of bears, let alone Japanese ones. But it's just like, I don't see the point. I don't see why people bother with lawns. It's just, I'm not even going to say, haven't you got anything better to do? It's like, you definitely have things better to do, and those, like, better to do is just go and sit down. Just go and have a nap is better, you know? There's no reason to bother. The main issue that we have is I don't want all of this wood to go rotten from sitting on damp grass for too long. I don't know if rotten wood would really be an issue for the crabs. You know, they come from tropical places. Let's be honest, wood will rot quite quickly in those conditions. However, I'm not really worried about it being poisonous. I'm not really worried about it growing mushrooms or anything like that. What I'm worried about is more the structural integrity part, right? I don't want to. A lot of the sticks are like Y sticks, almost like dowsing rod shape. I don't want the Y part, the fork. I don't want that to become like structurally unsafe, because there's going to be things that are going to like slot into that Y and sort of like build a climbing frame almost. And so I want it to be secure and good and not rotten. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't realize how much I'd sort of saved. I have probably saved. This was quite a big tree. The trunk is at least a foot thick, and it's. I don't know if this makes sense, but it's quite a dense tree. Whereas, like, conifers are the complete opposite. A conifer tree is like the least dense thing possible, especially like pine trees, where they drop all of the lower branches. That's like the complete opposite. This was like very short. It was probably only twice my height, but it's like very, very thick branches and a lot of them in a very small space. My current crab tank is, I think, 160 liters, which is about 40. Oh, no, sorry. If I'm doing it for American people, it's probably about 50 gallons. Or 40 gallons if you're English. I have probably saved that much wood from it. I could probably fill the crab tank with the wood, is how much I've saved. I pretty much saved everything over, I would say, over about 2 inches thick, which, as I say, this is quite a big tree. Admittedly, their current tank is 40 gallons. It's not going to stay like that. They're going to have a much bigger one. The main issue with the current tank is that it's gotten very, I would say it's probably 2 foot tall. However, they need a foot of sand. And over the years, I've sort of added more things in. You know, I've added more cork tubes, I've added more cork slabs, more sticks, more branches, more stuff like that. And it's very cluttered on the top, and it's running out of space. Especially considering I had to remove their pools. They need water pools to soak in. I had to remove them because they were too small, because they've grown so much. And so they need a much bigger one, much bigger tank. I would say it's currently probably 1.5 feet by maybe 2 feet, 2.5 foot. We're planning to do a meter squared, and it will be a lot more than 2 foot deep. So they're going to have a lot more room to climb and do all that sort of stuff, which I'm looking forward to. Because also I want to finish my collection. I currently have 2 purple pinchers and a viola. I want a strawberry, I want a blueberry, and I want a rookie. And so, if I've got a load of extra room, there's a load of, more room for the crabs, right? And so, that's waiting on the pond liner, which means I've got a pond to dig out, which will probably be... It's going to be definitely over 1,000 liters. It's probably going to be around like 1,500 to 2,000 liters. It's going to be quite big. The sort of construction of my house is such that there is no way onto my property other than going through a door. And when I say a door, I don't mean like a fence. I mean a regular door. I mean 50 centimeters by 2 meters. Like that. That's the size that you get, or however big a standard door is. It is just door size. The back of the property is a tree row, and over that row of trees is a farmer's field, which there is an irrigation ditch between my house and that field. So if you want to get a digger in, you're having to drive over a 3-foot ditch. Well, it's probably about 2 foot to be honest, but you're driving over a big ditch and then you're trying to fit through a forest of trees. And on both sides, I have neighbors and their fences. So it kind of comes like, I'm just going to have to do this by hand. Which, yeah, does not sound fun. It's going to take a long time, and only then can we get some pond liner and start building the crabs a new tank.